Buongiorno! Today I'll be making melanzane or aubergine eggplants alla scapecia. This is a side dish, or it could be a starter, or indeed something that you might want to use as a filling in your sandwich. It's very simple to make, only requires literally a few minutes, but you do require to plan a little bit because it will taste much better after a few hours, or better still if you make it the night before or the day before for the day after, will be much tastier. Southern Italian recipe, couple of aubergines, salt and pepper. I will be using some of this red chili pepper, this is mild, couple of cloves of garlic and a good handful of mint. I've got two types, and some white wine vinegar, and of course olive oil. And I'll start by making a vinaigrette, so I'm peeling off the leaves from the mint and I'm giving this a good chop with my knife. Garlic next, and you can choose to chop in little pieces with a knife, but I prefer to crush mine because by crushing it, I think it releases a lot more flavor than just cutting it. Of course, quantities to taste as always. And this is ready to go in my bowl now. Olive oil next. I'm going to be giving you the measurements for what I'm doing. So this is number 5, and I'm adding 6 dessertspoons of olive oil, followed by a couple of dessertspoons of white wine vinegar. I'll give this a good mix, and I will put this on one side so that the garlic and the mint release the flavor with the oil and the vinegar. In the meantime, I can go on with the aubergines. And very simply, I'm going along and using a bread knife, I'm slicing my aubergines approximately half a centimeter. I don't want to do them very thick because I want them to cook relatively quickly, but also I'm looking for quite a few slices. A little olive oil in a large frying pan, and using one of the aubergines, I'll make sure that it's spread evenly across the surface. And whilst everything is still cold, I just put them inside. On the hob, maximum temperature, but as soon as they start sizzling, I'll turn it down to medium, number 5, and I'll place the lid on. And they'll cook in their own steams. Much healthier way of frying your aubergines, as it does not require a lot of oil. In 5 minutes time, they'll become nice and translucent at the bottom and a lovely golden color, and I'll turn them around, but I'll show you. I'm now slicing my chili pepper as thinly as I can. Little tip about the aubergine, by the way, do not keep them loosely like this, otherwise they will turn black. I just keep them on top of one another, making sure that the very top one is an end bit, and they stay nice and white. And literally within less than 5 minutes, they're ready to be turned around. Besides the fact that they are nice and thin, so they cook considerably quicker, the lid will help as well. And this is what I meant by being nice and golden and translucent in color. A few more minutes and they will be ready to come out. In case you're wondering, by the way, what scapeche means, it derives from escapeche, which is a Spanish word, and is a way of preserving food using vinegar or vinaigrette of this type. Spain used to rule Italy back in the 16th century, and clearly the word has been adopted and modified, but this way of preserving food is adopted very much in southern Italy. And as predicted, within a few minutes they're done, and I'll move them onto a plate which I've lined up with some kitchen paper to absorb some of the excess oil. I'll continue with the rest and I'll show you what to do next. And I've just finished doing all of my aubergines, and the next step, as you'd expect, is going to be very simple. So I'm just creating a little base of aubergines first. Using a teaspoon and spreading some of my marinade on top of the aubergines. The reason why I'm putting a teaspoon, by the way, is so that I can control how much to put in better. Now sprinkling some of my red chili. I haven't added any salt purposely to this, so I'm adding a tiny little amount of salt and a little pepper. And I'll start all over and I'll move on to the next layer. Marinade again. A little bit more red chili. This is mild, by the way, otherwise Julie would complain, but if you don't like chili, you don't have to put it in. A little bit more salt and pepper. And this is my third and final layer. I've managed 3 generous layers. And I always make sure that I leave more marinade for the very top. One last sprinkle of salt and pepper. And as a final garnish, I've decided to put a little mint as well on top. And as suspected, the combination of mint and everything else smells absolutely wonderful. It's delightful. I will put some cling film on top. I'll leave it to cool down, and then I'll place it in the fridge, and I'll stay there overnight, and we will be eating this as a side dish tomorrow with some bread as well. You can also make this with courgette, by the way, zucchini, or indeed you could actually do a combination of both courgette and aubergine. Wonderful regardless. Hopefully you make them. If you make them, let me know how you get on and what you think. They are really nice. Thank you for watching and arrivederci e grazie. Ciao.